For a lot of the work that I do, I am often traveling. And so I need to have a lightweight filming kit that gets me really high quality results. But that also means I need to have a minimalist lighting kit that I can stick in a suitcase, put it in my checked luggage, and doesn't require cases upon cases. And so today I'm gonna go through that lighting kit that I use on all of these travel, commercials, branded content documentaries, and a lot of the work I do internationally. For a minimalist lighting kit, some of the most important items are things that are powerful, so lights that can pack a punch, but also are able to be traveled with very, very easily. So can they fit into a roller bag or a backpack that you take with you on the plane? All right, first up, we have the Zhiyun Molis X100 light. I think it's fairly obvious why this is my main light on a lot of the shoots I do where I have to travel on planes and abroad. It's because this thing is unbelievably tiny. This light is incredibly powerful, unbelievably lightweight, and you can put it almost anywhere. So this is my main key light. And the light is also bicolor, which is great when you're in a lot of different scenarios and you don't know exactly where you're going to be shooting. You can always change the color temperature to match the ambient room or to give yourself a little color differentiation to make your images pop just a little bit more. Zhiyun also has this awesome Bowens mount that you can stick onto your light, making for a very lightweight setup that can go on a stand. You can put modifiers on it because it's a Bowens mount. And it also has a reflector inside, so it makes it extra bright, especially if you're gonna punch it through diffusion. Zhiyun Molis X100. Beautiful light. So if you've watched this channel before, you know I am a fan of Zhiyun lights. I just showed you the X100, and they were nice enough to send me their newest light, the Zhiyun Molis X60, which is a 60-watt version of the X100, but with a few other tricks up its sleeve. They sent me 2 of these right before I left on this current trip where I'm doing 2 branded content pieces in 2 different countries, and so they were the perfect fit to slide in as my light number 2 and light number 3. First of all, like the X100, this thing is tiny. They say it's the size of a credit card, which might be pretty close to true in this direction, but I mean, it's obviously much thicker than a credit card. But this light is tiny, it's incredibly lightweight, and I've actually been using it in a lot of interesting ways on these shoots. And you can also put this thing on clamps, you can clamp it to other light stands so that you don't have to have multiple light stands, and that's a really big deal when you're traveling with a minimalist, lightweight lighting kit. You get the Pro version, comes with its own little reflector to make it a little more powerful, and it also ships with this nice little softbox, which is pretty nice when you're just trying to soften the light a little bit. And then, like the Zhiyun X100, it comes with this really nice battery grip that just slides into the side. And then you have a very compact handheld light that is powered by itself. And that has been very useful in some situations where we didn't have time or room to set up light stands, and we can just hold this, bounce it off the ceiling, and get some great looking light. It is bicolor, like the X100, so it can go all the way up to 6500 Kelvin and all the way down to 2700 Kelvin. And it also is RGB, so it can do all sorts of different colors if that's what you want to do. And then it also has a bunch of different effects, so things like paparazzi mode, you know, all the usual things you've seen, the aperture bulbs or other RGB lights. So one problem with the X100 was the battery grip died pretty quick. I used it for a couple weeks, and then the battery grip just stopped working. But so far, I've been using this one for a little over a couple weeks, and battery grip has been done great, powers on every time, charges easily, and so hopefully this one will last. It is so compact, perfect for a minimalist lighting kit, and I'll take this on pretty much every job I go on because it's just so easy to stick in your bag or even in your backpack just to always have with you. Zhiyun Molis X60, brand new light from Zhiyun, link in the description below. Pick one of these up. Thanks Zhiyun, love it. So the Zhiyun lights don't come with a swivel, so if you put this on a stand, it's just kind of stuck there. So I brought this one, which is one from Aputure, but there's a lot of different versions you can get this. It's lightweight, easy, makes your light swivel. It's important, make sure you have one of these. I bring this clamp. This is great because you can stick it on top of a stand and put your bounce or your negative fill or your diffusion. It doesn't take up that much room. Small, lightweight clamp. Nice to have this on hand, so make sure you grab a clamp. For a travel lighting kit, light stands are probably one of the most difficult items just because they generally are pretty large, pretty heavy, and difficult to travel with. The light panels, this one is made out of true metal. Definitely feels like it's the strongest. Can easily hold the Zhiyun X100 or the X60. I've had the Amaran 200D on this thing and it's no issue at all, but it's still pretty compact, as hopefully you can see. It can easily fit into my checked luggage, and it's pretty strong, and so it's a great key light and to use as my main stand. This is the impact, similar to the light panels, Feels a little bit cheaper made and a little bit lighter, which is nice, of course. And it's great for using the clamp with a diffusion on it, or as a bounce or a negative fill. The final light stand is this tiny little guy. I think this might be Kane TV. I'd actually have to look around and find, but I'll put a link in the description below. And it is definitely the smallest and the lightest, which means you probably wouldn't want to put a really heavy light or anything too heavy on it. But again, if you're using something like a clamp with a negative fill or diffusion that's not too heavy, then this thing will be just fine. All right, probably one of the more useful items, kind of no matter where you are, is just a 5-way reflector. And I only use this in 3 ways, with a white side as a bounce to get a little fill light if your key light's coming from the other angle, or on the black side to give a negative fill to give your subject a little more shape, a little more shadow. But I often will just take off the actual bounce and just use it as a full-on diffuser. For my diffusion, I usually use different types of umbrellas that you can either bounce the light in and then come back on your subject, or just shoot through the umbrella. I lost my umbrellas 2 days before we went on this shoot. I don't know where they are, but this thing has been a lifesaver. It has been my main key light diffusion, and I would always take 2 of these on every single one of my international shoots, because you can have one as diffusion and one as bounce or negative fill on the other side. So grab a couple of these. They're cheap, they're beautiful, and they allow you to do a lot of different things and allow you to shape your light, which is really nice. Extension cord, fairly simple, but it's very useful. Get an extension cord, throw it in your bag, and you can plug all your lights and cameras in. Pretty obvious. All right, for shoots like these, we don't often have a sound guy. It's just myself and Elliot over here. Hello, Elliot. We're also running sound. This little guy is amazing. It's the little Hollyland, and it's magnetic on one side. And I'm doing some corporate branded content right now, and everyone's wearing name tags. So I've actually just put this on the back of their name tag, and it's just magnetized, and it just stays there. And that's our nice little backup audio. But for our main audio, I always like a boom, and so the mic that's on the camera right now, I will use as a boom over the top of our talent, and for that, you actually need to have a boom pole. But boom poles are generally very long, sometimes pretty heavy, and they don't fit into a lot of bags. But I found this guy right here, very short, but acts as a really nice boom pole and extends out very far. So I'll put this on one of our stronger light stands and then use it to just boom over the top of our talent or whoever we're interviewing. A really long XLR cable so that you can run that microphone that's on that boom back to your camera. This has been a really nice addition to this year's travel shoot, and that is the iFootage Spider Crab. And it's really been really useful because of the Zhiyun X60s. So behind me, right here, is this Zhiyun X60, the brand new light. And as you can see, currently being powered by the battery, and it's so lightweight that I can use this little iFootage clamp and just clamp it onto the wall. And there you go, backlight. And I've already used it like this in this configuration a few times because I ran out of light stands. It's a clamp on the end, quick releases on both ends so that you can easily stick this in and put it wherever you need to. There we go, that's my minimalist travel lighting kit. And thanks again to Zhiyun for sending me the X60. I bought this bad boy with my own money last year because I thought it was so amazing how small it was. And I've used it on quite a few international branded content travel pieces so far. And the X60 is a perfect companion piece to something larger and a little brighter like the X100. What do you travel with, and what's your minimalist lighting gear setup? How do you keep things small, lightweight, but still gets great results? I would love to see any recommendations you have, so leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, off to Peru. We got a pack.